Hello everyone, welcome to part 4 of this series on Python. In this video, we're going to talk about string. I'm going to take you through the step-by-step guide on how to manipulate string and do stuff like concatenation, reversing a string, and pulling items from a particular string. Now, to start with, let's create a variable. Call the variable my string. Set it to I am learning Python. Now, let's print this out on the console. Okay, my string. Now, if I save and run this, we get my string being printed on the console. Now, let's dive into manipulating the string. Now, for us to get items from the string, we have to know what is indexing. Now, in Python starts indexing anything from 0. So the first item is index number 0. So the second item, which is the space here, is index number 1. The third item, A, is index number 2, and so on. So if we specify a bracket here, a square bracket, and put 0 to get the first item, we get I being printed on the console. Now to get the second item, we press 2. Automatically we get a space being printed on the console. And if we print 1, we print 1, we get a space being printed on the console. If we print 2, get a space being printed on the console. A being printed on the console. Now, that's it for getting a particular value from the console. What if we want to get a range of values from a string? We have to specify a column. So now specifying just a column here means getting values from the beginning of the string to the end. So if we save this and run the code, we get I am learning Python being printed because we didn't specify any value. We just said get me all the values from there, from the beginning to the end. What if we specify 0 to 10? We get I am learn being printed on the console. Now that's it for getting items from a string. Now let's talk about concatenation. Now for us to know concatenation, to know how to do concatenation, we have to create another variable. We call this variable my string2. My string2. We haven't created this variable yet, so we have to create the variable now to remove that error. So I'm going to write I am a beginner. Now for this to work, for us to see a cool item being printed well, for it to be printed well, we have to put a space here because I don't want it to be joined together. Now if we print this, we get I am learning Python, I am a beginner. Now that's it for that. So to concatenate any element, you have to put the plus sign here. Now that's it for concatenation. Very simple stuff to do. Now I want to do the last stuff here on reversing a particular string. It's a bit complex but simple. Now we have to specify a bracket and specify 2 colon then -1. This is syntax for reversing any string. Now let me explain. When I did a bracket with just 1 column, I said is taking the items of that string from beginning to the end. So it's taking the item of the string from the beginning to the end. Now if I specify another column, the last item there is going to tell me the step in which I want to get those items. If I specify a positive value, it's going to give me if I specify 1, it's going to give me the values without jumping any other value. So it's going to give me I am learning Python. If I specify 2, it's going to jump some values. It's going to give me IA space ERO stuff. It's jumping some values. You are saying give me in this step. But if I specify negative value, it's going to start from the end and start giving me value. If I specify -1, it's going to give me the value, then starting from the end, going to reverse that string. But if I specify -2, also going to work by jumping some values. Now what if we want to like reverse a particular part of a string? So let's try that particular part. Let's try by putting 0 here, then 10. Let's see what happens. Let's save and run the code. You see, we get space. Let me put -1 here for clarity's sake. We get space being printed. Now I wanted to reverse I am learn. So this didn't work. So why did it not work? I don't know. Python does not support that. So to do this, it's very easy. So a clear fix is to write this same syntax again at the beginning. You can jam this syntax together. It will always work. To always work. Even you can add more of these. It will always work. Always trim the string because it's also a string that you're streaming. So that string can also be streamed again. Now, if I can specify the part of the string I want to get from this string. So I can specify 0 and to the 10th index. So from that 0 to the 10th index, so I want to reverse this string. So this is just a clear fix to that part. So we have automatically been able to reverse this part of the string by Python not being able to allow us get this part. Maybe I think because string is immutable, you cannot change a part of the string. Maybe, but I don't think that's the reason. But Python does not support that. So this is a clear way to do it. Now, I hope you have learned something from this video. So you can subscribe to stay tuned for the next video. In the next video, we're going to talk about numbers. So stay tuned for that. Thanks again for watching.